Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another awesome episode of Eight Queens Roundtable Show. I am your host, 𝙔𝙊𝙐 You all have to forgive me. I'm just getting over a bad sinus infection, so I'm trying to make it through the show without coughing. But thank you so much for those of you that have been very loyal in joining me and all of my awesome guests that I've had just over the course of this year. You are so much appreciated. Definitely like the broadcast, share it out, and definitely if you have time to stop and tune in, then please do so. Today we're going to be talking about, as you see, we're doing it panel style, and the panel topic today is you are enough. Okay, so if you know another friend, coach, consultant, whomever that may benefit from this, then please tag them, share it out. And like I said, we want to hear from you, whatever questions, comments you may have, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves. So everyone, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the audience know just a little bit about you and your business. Miss Natalie.
Good afternoon. I am Natalie Williams. I'm an attorney, criminal defense primarily. I'm with Blankenship Law, LLC, located in Northwest Indiana. We have two offices, Carmel and in Valparaiso, Indiana. So if you were in trouble and need some legal services, I am your girl. Also, today I'm excited to launch actually my side business called Freedom 919. I'll be offering resiliency coaching and transitional coaching for women who have start new careers in their lives, in their second stages of their lives, like I had to do, and move forward. So I'm so excited about that.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you.
So, hey, happy Sunday, everybody. My name is Cheron Crouch, and I am the owner of Magnifying Expectations. We are a behavioral health firm that's located in Stockbridge, Georgia, and in Monroe, Georgia. So I provide behavioral health counseling to women who are struggling with depression, anxiety, that impacts their self-confidence and impacts their self-esteem. I also service women who struggle with suicidality and have suicidal ideations. I am known as the inner critic therapist, and the inner critic is that little voice that lives rent-free in your head that jumps out and start to talk to you right before you are wanting to do something important. And so I work with women to help them understand the role of the inner critic and help them understand how to silence that voice so that they can live the dreams that they're desiring to live.
Wow, so this is a perfect topic for you.
Love it. I'm here for it. When I heard the title, I was banging down your door. Like, let me in. Yes, I love this topic because it's a critical place. It stops people in their tracks, make them question and self-doubt, and it stops people from doing what they want to do.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Hey everyone, my name is 𝙔𝙊𝙐 Mariano. I am a confidence and leadership coach for women who are tired of playing small and staying silent. So I work with women to help them finally gain the strength and power of their own voice so they can use it in order to create the life they want to live on their own terms without guilt or apology. So the women I tend to work with are in corporate America or small business owners, and they are struggling with feelings of being undervalued. They're not recognized, they're not appreciated, they're ignored. And so they are dealing with a lack of confidence in order to create that dream future for themselves. And so it's very interesting as I hear Cheron speak and also even Natalie, we work with those women who just don't believe in themselves enough to take that next leap. There are so many things that are holding them back from taking that next step and really just living life the way that they want, creating the future, the business, the job. So I'm very happy to be on the panel with you wonderful ladies today.
Well, thank you for being here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kimberly T. Mitchell. I am a storytelling strategist. I am a public speaking coach, certified public speaking coach, as well as a public speaking coach for TEDx speakers. I have a business called Kimberly T. Inspires LLC, where I teach women how to tell their stories with confidence and purpose and power, the story that they wish to tell, and not allow the past and shame and guilt keep them back. And I love this topic because one of my signature talks is about imposter syndrome and those negative thoughts again that want to keep you from moving ahead, or your thoughts that keep you from moving ahead. And I would like to call that reframing your thoughts, where we take unhealthy thoughts and replace them with positive, healthy ones, so that you could do what you was called to do.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You all, everyone here is so perfect for this panel. Well, and thank you for joining us, Kimberly. So this is important to me because, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I never, ever deal with that anymore. I'm not going to say that. I do see it creep up oftentimes when I'm doing something that's like totally outside of my comfort zone. I just recently, and Natalie was a part of this awesome project we launched in September. The title of the book is Born to Lead, Awakening the Leader Within. And that was my first anthology. And when I first started that, I felt, like, can I do this? Who am I to be doing this? Just all of those feelings. So I'm saying all that to say, I think this is something that sometimes we may battle with. Those thoughts come. But the thing of it is to have the appropriate tools to be able to address it. So I know Cheron and Kimberly and Lee, all of you, I'm pretty sure, help women walk through that, be able to, because not to say that they're not going to come, but to be able to appropriately address it, and different strategies work for different people. So that's one thing. And the second piece I wanted to say was, I know what it feels like to constantly second guess myself, to constantly and be on the sidelines and cheering everybody else on, but not feeling that I had a story to tell, or not feeling that I was enough, basically, to be able to start my own business, or to be able to basically create the lifestyle that I truly want to create. So it took me a very long time to be able to get to a place of feeling that I am enough. So that's why this topic is very, very personal to me. And I feel that it's something that I can never talk about enough. And I think we need to continue to have more conversations about this. So that's kind of how I want to open it up. So I guess, Natalie, if you could just share a little bit more with us about why did you decide to become or want to be on this panel with us today?
Because I really had to hone in that I am enough. And working for a government job for 13 years, being close to retirement, and then God nudging me and saying, no, I need you to quit and go to law school. What? I'm 7 years from retirement. That's not smart. Why would I do that? Not thinking I was smart enough, because I've been out of school 13, 14 years at that point. And I had a newborn. I didn't think I was smart enough. But he kept telling me, you are enough. You are smart enough. I'm calling you. I will make it work. Trust me and keep walking. And so I stepped in it, quit my job. Everybody called me crazy. Move my family 14 hours away from everybody that I love, and enrolled in school where I was one of the oldest in my class. And I had to start again, a new career. And then graduating from law school, and then, things happen with life and my marriage falls apart, and now I'm divorced. I had to remember I am enough despite this, what looks like a failure, but it's actually a blessing, because God continued to open the doors to push me further and further and further into my purpose, where I was stifled before. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to be on this panel, because I have personally had to hone in multiple times and say, no, Natalie, you are enough, especially with launching my website and my side business of Freedom 919. I was like, I don't think I'm qualified enough, even though I have a master's degree in psychology. I have the personal experience to do this. And people come to me all the time for guidance. And how did you do it? What do I need to do? And things of that nature. I'm like, well, I am qualified. I am enough. And God, if you're going to take me to this door, I'm going to walk through it. So.
Oh, I love it. Just real quick, because I know everybody else is ready to jump in. The side business is called what again? And what exactly is it?
Freedom 919. I'll be offering resiliency coaching as well as transitional coaching for people who are in that transitions in life, who get knocked down but don't really know how to get up. Sometimes we just wallow in self-pity because that's what the world expects us to do, and we don't know what else to do. Instead of using the knockdown to rebuild yourself and actually use it as a stepping stone. So that's what my business will be focusing on and offering to women on the side. I do it to my clients all the time who come in my office. They think they're coming in to hire a lawyer to help them get out of this criminal matter, and they walk out with a whole new vibe and a whole new feel. Because yes, I will help you get to the best result possible, but what are we going to do next? Mm-hmm. Just because you have a felon attached to your name, that doesn't mean who you are. That doesn't define who you are. What are we doing next? Mm-hmm. Let's shake it off. Let's refocus. Yeah. God sent me for a reason.
Yeah. I like
so.
That.
Just you on my desk. This is where you are now. This is not who you're going to stay.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Whew. Okay, I love talking more about that, but I'm going to give everybody opportunity. So, Cheron, tell us. I know this is the focus of your practice.
It is.
So why is this so important to you?
This is important to me because I think this is an under-discussed topic. I think women have been put in this position of forced to be strong, forced to stand and take everything and wear multiple hats and smile while they're doing it and brag about doing it. You know, hey, I do this, I do this, I do this. And we do these things. Yes, we do. But at the same time, there's also a piece of us that may feel like we're not doing something correctly, or we're not living up to our purpose in certain areas, or we're doing things for everybody else and not doing things for ourselves. And so because there's this mantra about, women being strong and, formidable and almost like oak trees. I like to say in my practice sometimes, you're not an oak tree, you have feelings. And so having this topic where women and people, my focus is women, but having this topic where women can say, hey, I don't always feel confident, even though I look confident, even though I look like I believe in myself. Hey, I'm having these doubts. I'm having these beliefs. I'm having these ideas that are stopping me from where I want to go, even though I'm putting up this brave face and this brave front. So having this platform where we're on this platform and just having you, Jacqueline, say, hey, I write books, I coach, and I help women. And this still happens to me in the back of my head. Same here. I conduct workshops. I am a therapist, but I also have those thoughts because they're a part of you. I do what's called parts work, and just helping women understand that inner critic is a part of your personality. So you can't let it go. So we're going to have to learn how to manage that part of you. This is a part of you. So this topic is just in a nutshell, because it's under discussed, in my opinion, and just the idea that it opens the door for professional women to talk about this and say, hey, I have these self-doubts too. You're not alone. And there is a way to manage this thing. Like, we can do this.
That's right. And, I think that there's a lot of power in acknowledging it, instead of like sweeping it up under the rug and pretending that it doesn't, that it doesn't exist, or that we don't ever have those thoughts again.
Yeah.
Ever,
Yeah.
So excellent.
For me, when I saw this, Jacqueline, it was absolutely, I raised my hand. I think I reached out and like, I'm interested. Because for me, part of what I coach women on, it's a huge part of my coaching ideology, is that we have to remove the mask that we wear every day. Every single day we show up with a mask, and we show to the world a different person. We show to the world, as even Cheron and Natalie were saying, that outwardly confident person, but inside we're scared. We don't know what to do. We're confused. We're uncertain, but we don't feel that we have the ability to actually show that level of vulnerability to the world. And so we show up as a false self, because we don't believe that we are enough. We don't believe that if we show up as our true self, that people will accept us, or that people will gravitate, or they'll like us, or whatever we want to say. We live our life based on the labels that other people have placed on us. Chief executive, attorney, therapist, coach, whatever it is that we do, we live our life based on those labels because we believe those labels define us. And so we're afraid of kind of putting ourselves out there and being who we truly are. And, for me, it's one of those things. I have struggled with that myself. Jacqueline, you've probably heard my story before. I'm a daughter of a single teen mom. We struggled. She hustled every day of her life that I was growing up. I went into the Marine Corps. I became a single mother. I am a domestic abuse survivor. I am now a C-suite executive, a USA Today best-selling author, and a coach for women. But there is a whole gap in between picking myself off of the ground and leaving my ex-husband so that I was no longer going to be an abused wife and becoming a C-suite executive. And there was a whole lot of self-doubt and confusion and uncertainty that was in the middle of that. And so I know as well what it's like to have that feeling of simply not being enough, that I was not good enough. And it takes hard work, and it doesn't ever truly go away. There are ways you can mitigate it. There's ways you can get better, grow your confidence, become the person you were meant to be, but it is a journey. And so, this topic was just one that was so important to me. That's really why I started my coaching business, 𝐷𝐸𝐿𝐴 Coaching, because I felt that I had gotten to a point in my life where it was time for me to give back. I had made it to a certain level, but there were potentially other women out there who were still struggling. And so that's why I wanted to, create my coaching business and reach back and help. So that's why this topic is just so important to me. And, I think it's just such a powerful topic. And I am really glad that you are holding this space for us today to talk about it openly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And no, I didn't really know your full story, Lee. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Well, when I saw that topic, just when I was scrolling through and I saw that says, I am enough. Yes, I just knew that too was for me, because I wrote a whole novel. I did all these great big things and accomplishments, but I still felt like I wasn't worthy of even putting out that book or just going to my graduation. Like, I was graduating with doctors and lawyers and everybody else, and I was like a single mother. My whole group, a single mother, on public assistance. And in my stories that I tell during my workshop, I said that we all thought that they were going to find out about us, that they were going to find out that we were a fraud. Now, mind you, I didn't know imposter syndrome was a thing, and I didn't know that we was actually the walking billboards of imposter syndrome, because we did not accept our accomplishments. We did not accept our awards. We didn't know that, okay, listen, as a single mother, you did twice as much work because you had to go home and you had to feed those kids. You had to feed those kids. You had to get them up and go to take them to school. You had to take them to the babysitter. You had to pick them back up from the babysitter. You had to go to school. You had to write midterm papers, all of that. And the professors wasn't looking and saying, oh, well, I know you have kids, so it's okay. No, we work just as hard. I'm not belittling anybody else, but we work just as hard, and dang, all right, we deserved it, but we didn't see it that way. So I feel like I am enough. I even have my grandkids repeating affirmations in the morning because I want to start early with I ams. And that's one of my helpful tips that I help my speakers about respecting the pause in their lives. And I give them affirmations to help them as the speakers that they're going to show up for themselves and show up for the people that's willing to hear them speak. And that they have an audience, a group of people attached to their voice. Their voice is unique. What you go through is unique. So not everybody, your voice is not for everybody, but there's a group of people that is attached to you, and you have to respect that. You have to look and be kind to yourself, show yourself some grace, and so that you can show others grace as well. But I love this topic. Thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you for having this platform. And I just pray for great things for you in the future.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we were able to connect too in the past.
Yeah.
I think we connected. You were one of the co-authors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forget about that too, right? I'm a co-author of the anthology. Things that I would never say, okay, Kim, you were good enough. Now, before meeting all these fabulous young ladies, I probably would have been like, oh, no, they got this, they got that. But I tell you, I am blessed to have all of y'all in my circle.
You know what? For me, it's like I work as a therapist by day, right? It's also funny. By day, I'm a therapist, and at night, I'm, the queen of 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼 roundtable. But it's like I've come across so many women that, they have multiple degrees, like multiple master's degrees, and, all of these accomplishments. But it's like when you really start to peel down to the core, they really still suffer with not feeling that they're good enough or not feeling that they're worthy, and also not feeling that they're worthy of abundance, because somebody can tell you all day long, you're this, you're that, and, all of these awesome things, right? But if you don't believe it,
right,
then you're going to act accordingly. You are going to kind of maybe shy away from commitments, or you're going to see different things like how you just mentioned. They might see something about this panel and may think like, oh, I'm not qualified, or or maybe don't apply for a particular job, right? Because out of the 20 things that they say that they're looking for, they only meet 18 of them. So like, okay, well, I'm not going to apply, I don't qualify. So for me, it's like the more I talk to people, like I experienced it myself, as well as talking with other women, really finding out that at the core, they don't really feel that they're good enough. And the way you see yourself impacts everything in your life, to a certain degree, everything in your life. So that's also why I think it's so important to continue to have these conversations.
I put in part of my speech that how Michelle Obama and Dr. Maya Angelou both experienced imposter syndrome. And these ladies are huge. These ladies, I love Dr. Maya Angelou. She's written so many novels and won so many awards, and she still had challenges of that. And Michelle Obama just felt the same way too, that she said that we often don't believe in our own superpowers as women, that we don't believe that we were called or have anything important to say.
It's so funny you mentioned that. It's so, as I mentioned, I'm an author, right? I'm a USA Today bestselling author, and it takes some work to get to that level, to get on that list. And as of now, next Wednesday, I will be publishing my 50th book, my 50th romance novel, right? Thank you. My 50th romance novel. And before this meeting today, before this panel, I'm sitting down and I'm editing the 50th novel. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I really hope people like it. I'm just so nervous about this book. What if they don't like it? And in my head, I know that doesn't make any sense, ladies, because after 50 novels, I think I'm doing okay. I think they like me. I think I'm doing all right. But that self-doubt, that lack of that, am I enough for the readers to, to purchase this book? It's still there. It's still present. No matter what accomplishments that you've had, it does creep back in.
Yeah.
It does. I like to say, in my practice, I have one of my favorite quotes is "Childhood lasts forever." And so when I am working with a woman, we're trying to find out, where did that core belief come from? Let's uncover, when did we first started having that self-doubt and second guessing. And I'll hold my hand up high, and I'll lower, and I'll say, tell me, and I keep lowering my hand, tell me the first time you felt different and not in a good way. And usually my hand gets really low to around the toddler age, maybe the 4 or 5 year old age, where people will say, this is the age where I started to feel like I wasn't connected. I didn't have friends. I started feeling left out. And I like to say, that's when your inner critic was born. That age right there, where you started to feel, I'm not good enough for this circle. I'm not good enough because I have these shoes on. I'm not. And so just trying to get to that space of, where did that core belief first begin in your heart and in your mind, because you carried it with you into adulthood. And then, like, little situations in adulthood and as you were growing up kind of just reinforced that idea. But it's just so important to get to that space of just saying, where did this core belief of, I'm not good enough, I'm not like, where did that come from? Where did we learn that? So it's just, it's powerful that the accolades that we accomplish sometimes just don't mesh with that initial core belief of, that just makes us question who we are. And if we're supposed to be doing what we're doing, if we're supposed to be doing what we love. So yeah.
I had go ahead, Lee.
So just to piggyback off of that, one of the things that I find that I think is so interesting in the clients that I've had is that whole premise of, it's the childhood trauma that they have not yet dealt with. It's the being bullied when they were in school. It's the, they didn't have the clothes, they didn't have the things. They were told, we are a group of Black women. They were told, you aren't pretty enough. You aren't, we didn't see ourselves reflected back as these beacons of power and strength and whatever it may be. And so we began to minimize ourselves, and kind of minimize our accomplishments, minimize what we did. We didn't want to be the outcast. So every time we accomplished something, we downplayed it. And instead of saying, hey, look at what I've done, we said, oh, well, I just, it was a small award. It was nothing.
Right.
I got lucky. I had a lot of, we just shrink. We allowed ourselves to shrink. We did.
Yes, to fit into this mold and this box that other people had placed you in, so that you don't stand out. You don't want to stand out. You just want to fit in. You just want to be part of it. But what we don't realize is, by doing that we are actually hurting ourselves. Because then every time we do something new or different or great or amazing, our first thought is, oh, I'm not going to tell nobody.
So what about that belief that we were taught to be humble and to not brag and to not boast?
That's it.
When being proud of yourself for your hard work is not boasting. It is just you being proud of your work and your accomplishment.
I think that was just like, I think that's
like we were taught that,
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I saw when we was out, my daughter, she has this degree, and I saw her have it was like in a box in the back of a closet. And I'm like, why is it back there? Take that degree out, put it up on the wall. Oh, I don't feel like I should because of this and this and that. I'm like, girl, and that's what you said that humbleness and bragging. I was like, brag on yourself, because not everybody could get through 4 years of college, and not everybody could get that degree. Brag on yourself for a job well done. So when you walk in the house after a hard day working, you could just go, wow, I did that. Okay, so I can keep going now, because I'm looking at that award, that degree, and it reminds me that I can do this.
Yeah.
I can get through another day, because we don't have little reminders on our wall or on our door and our living room that remind us. And this is why we get so stuck in a dark place, that we can't get ourselves out of, because we don't want to brag. We don't want to have those awards up and for everybody to see.
You know what? I think that women, for some reason or another, and I'm not trying to make this a man versus women thing, but for some reason or another, I think we as women, we have always been told that was boastful. Like if a woman comes in too confident, right? It's like, who does she think she is? Why is she walking in with her head up and, like she's better than everybody? And I don't know what it is about us as women, and especially us as African American women. I don't know what it is, but it's like every time we have these forums and we start talking about it, a lot of the same things come out. And I've always been taught, a couple of things. One, that it is boastful, like don't, like, you shouldn't, you're gonna break your own arm trying to pat yourself on the back. But what's wrong with patting myself on the back? And no, as you're not, obviously I don't think I'm better than anyone or anything along those lines, but it's a good thing to be able to celebrate your accomplishments. You know what I mean? And that helps to keep you motivated. It helps to keep you encouraged. It helps to, build your self-esteem and your self-confidence. So that's one piece of the puzzle. And then two, like our male counterparts, and it's just the way we're socialized. Like, it's like they're told, or it's okay for them to praise themselves. But for some reason or another, when it comes to us as women, it's like that's a no-no. Like, no, honey, what are you doing? And go have a seat in the back and just be seen and not heard, kind of a thing.
There's I don't know if any of you have ever read it. I read it years ago when I was moving up the corporate ladder, and it's a book by Dr. Lois P. Frankel. Some people have read it, some haven't, but it's basically called Nice Girls Don't Get. So it's Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. And it basically, in that book, and you can put it, we're taught to be a nice girl, and a nice girl isn't boastful. She isn't loud. She doesn't walk into a room and take up space, right? She stays quiet. She stays, hidden. She does what she's told. But when you add on those thoughts about how girls are supposed to act, and then you do put it into the African American community, it compounds upon itself. Right, because we are told, again, as we've talked a couple times, don't be boastful, don't brag on yourself, stay quiet, don't embarrass other people, right? When you are excelling, when you are going up the corporate ladder, or when you want to start your own business, or you're getting a degree, don't embarrass your cousin, don't embarrass your friend, don't embarrass the other people. Because then you are separating yourself out. Who do you think you are? As you said, Jacqueline, I think, who do you think you are? Right. Who do you think, why do you, let's put it out there. Why do you talk so white? Why do you act that way? Right. Because then when you do that, when you become educated, when you become confident, when you put yourself out there and you do these things and you say all the things that you've accomplished, there's this thought of, well, who do you think you are? You think you're better than us. So we're going to do whatever we can to bring you back down.
So Coach Lee, I'm sorry. When you said that, what I thought about was different. When don't embarrass your cousins by being different.
There you go.
Different. Like, when did different become such a negative word? Like, don't be different. Be different. It's okay to be different. It's okay.
It is.
It's definitely going to be different. I don't know what's going on with my computer, you guys. It is the devil. He don't want me to speak today, but I'm back.
I'm glad you're back. We're glad you're back.
We're gonna make this.
So go ahead
for you.
Look, go ahead and talk before something else happens.
Right, I know. Kimberly was in her introduction. She was talking about the I ams, and I'm so glad that you said that because I also give my son affirmations in the mornings, and I think we started when he was 2, and the first thing he learned was I am a man of God.
Wow.
And then he would say that for a couple of weeks. Then we added, I am smart and important. I will achieve everything I believe. I am the head and not the tail. I am and not beneath.
Yes.
I am more than a conqueror. Like these are things that each few months I add a different I am as he gets older into a man. But I may not be able to show him everything, but I can show him who he is. And it's not based upon, your mom being a lawyer, because I'm the first lawyer in my family. That's unheard of in little old Eastern North Carolina. What? Yeah. I'm the first lawyer in my family. I'm the first one who is, dark skinned, dreadlock, will say what's on my mind and will stand before a federal court and argue, as you say, like a white person or in my white voice. But it's not my white voice. I can't speak, hood language to the judge. However, after court, I will take everything that I said so eloquently and legally correct and profound to the family and sit down. Now this is what the deal is. And say it plain. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's one of the reasons why I love the different. I am different. I dare to be different. That is my motto when I became a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Centennial year. I'm super excited. But that is our motto. We dare to be different. We are different. I am not like everybody else. I refuse to be like everybody else. But I can't fit everybody else's mold. And that's okay. Because when I learned that just like nobody else like me. Everybody has different fingerprints for a reason. We are all uniquely designed. And I'm going to walk in my uniqueness regardless of what anybody says. And if you don't like it, well, honey, you don't got to look at me.
Absolutely.
Because I spent so much time wondering what he said, she said. Am I going to embarrass this person? Or am I good enough for this because I'm a dark-skinned girl? Am I good enough for this because of my Southern drawl? I was told, and I'm sure Jacqueline read my chapter in the book, where I was told in law school that people were going to assume I'm ignorant because of my Southern dialect.
Oh, wow.
I was told to straighten and press my hair before my locks because I wasn't good enough for federal internships.
Wow.
And I was like, no, I refuse. If you don't like me the way that I am, then you're not for me. God will create the door. When he gives you an assignment, he will put the right people in your path to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And I think that's what a lot of people do not want to hone or realize, that if God gave it to you, ain't no devil in hell gonna stop it. The only person gonna stop it is you.
Right.
Amen.
Once we get over the I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, are people gonna listen to me? Are people gonna feel what I'm saying? Once we get over that hump, we can achieve anything. One of the things, my greatest mantra is, greatness is not by chance, it is by choice.
Yeah.
We have to choose to be great, choose to get up every day despite our adversities, choose to get up every day besides the naysayers. They can naysay and block you all day, but at the end of the day, when you're standing on the other side and you are a best-selling author, when you are a top attorney, you are a top coach, when you are a novelist, when you have multiple businesses, you're a multi-millionaire in the making, everybody said, what did you do? Can I be like you now?
Right. Now
it's okay. Change their
now
tone.
It's okay.
And now it's okay. But you own that. You own it. You are enough. God gave you everything that you need to achieve.
He sure did.
So I had to stick all that out there before my computer started acting funny again.
And you did a good job. You took us to church, and I appreciate it.
So let's do this. So we got about maybe like another 7 or 8 minutes. So let's leave the audience with, share with the audience either, how you dealt with this challenge, how you dealt with it, or how you continue to deal with this challenge of feeling like not being enough, or either how you help your clients to address it, and at least share. I don't. At least share one tip. I would say maybe two, but I want to make sure we have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go last. So Cheron, you
Okay.
go first, and then Kimberly, Natalie, and then Lee.
Okay. So I like to tell people you have 5 seconds to make a decision before your inner critic jumps in and say, stop, don't do it. So when you get the call that says, I want you to do this, I want you to do it broke, I want you to do it scared, I want you to do it ignorant, commit to it. You have 5 seconds before your inner critic says, wait, stop, think about this. So do it, commit to it. When you get the call, when you get the request, commit to it. Tell them you're going to do it, and then work on it afterwards before your inner critic stops you within those 5 seconds. The one thing that I tell people honestly is your inner critic is there to put self-doubt in your head because your inner critic wants you to succeed. It's just fearful. It doesn't want you hurt. So I talked to my inner critic. I named him. Well, I named her. I named her after my mom because my mom is very critical. I tell everybody in my workshops, if my mama ever came to hear me speak, she gonna be mad because my whole workshop is about her critical behind. But I name my inner critic and I say, Christine, I've accomplished blah, 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 blah. I can do this too. I know you are afraid that I'm gonna get hurt, but it's okay. I'm grown. I made some very great decisions. I've overcome a lot, and I can do this too. I say to you, commit within 5 seconds. And when those self-doubts come up, talk to yourself and just say, hey, listen, I got this. And if you have to list 4 things that you've done well, you've overcome, to remind yourself that you can do things, then you remind yourself, write them down, list 4 things that you've overcome, and you talk to yourself over that self-doubt and over that hump. But above all, commit to what you want to do within 5 seconds.
Ooh,
Yes.
I like that. Okay. Kimberly?
I love that. And I am shaking my head. I am in total agreement with you because I would tell my clients to fact check. You know how people always say, I got receipts, I did this, I did that. Well, I want you to show those facts. Okay, tell me those negative thoughts are aligned with what you already achieved. They're not, right? So we're like, okay, well, write down 10, 15, fact check yourself. Fact check them and send it to me. Because you could say, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, give me a list of 10 or 15 things that you have done already from then to now. Fact check. I call it fact check. Fact check you. I want to fact check you. I want you to send it in to me. I want to see all of those great things that you've done. And half of the time I'm amazed. I am not half of the time, all the time. I'm like, okay, you did all this and you want to tell me you can't do X, Y, and Z? Come on now. No, I'm not going for it. I don't believe it. Because God wouldn't have put you here if your journey or your path or you didn't do it certain things that was required of you to get here. So that's what exactly showing. I totally agree with you.
Fact check. I like that. Okay. All right, Miss Natalie.
So I like to share, scripture with mine, write the vision and make it plain. I think that's one of the biggest things God put in the Bible. You write your vision, whatever you want it is, you write it down, create your vision board in your head, in your diary, on your journal, on Post-it notes. I used to put Post-it notes all over my bathroom. Before Being Mary Jane came out, I was the I am beautiful woman with the Post-it notes in my bathroom because I had to tell myself, I am beautiful. And it's not I am beautiful to be a dark-skinned girl. I am beautiful. I am smart. There is no but behind that. And also, I'm like, if you're the smartest person in your group, find a new group. Because you cannot go further in your life if you still stuck on the same level with everybody else that's trying to hold you down. We have a crab in the barrel mentality in this world, especially for Black people. We have the crab in the barrel mentality. But if you're the smartest person in your group, honey, find you a new group. Find somebody who has what you want. Make them your mentor. Learn from them. Watch them aggravate the crap out of them. I forever love attorney Jamise Perkins. That woman was somebody who I wanted to be like. She pulled me in as a third-year law student and said, I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to mentor you. She pulled me in, and I was the only person in my law school who has ever tried a murder case as a law student. That is unheard of. And get a favorable verdict for the defense. That is unheard of. But I did it because I had a mentor who poured into me. I was at her door begging to learn more and more and more. And when I finally passed the bar and I got my job, well, I passed it the first time, but I got my job at the prosecutor's office and I'm working. Who was the most resourceful and talented attorney in that firm, in the prosecutor's office? I went to him. Mr. Marcus, I'm going to call you Uncle Rick. I need you to train me, do X, Y, and Z as a prosecutor. And he put me under his wing until he retired. Gave me the confidence when I told him, I said, Reggie, I think I want to leave the prosecutor's office now. He said, baby girl, you have learned everything you're going to learn here. You've tried multiple murders in a 5-year period. You have over 50 trials underneath your belt. You have learned everything. Go fly. I turned in my resume and I left and went into private practice. So if you're the smartest person in your group, find a new group because the naysayers will stop you from doing everything.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Found a new group. Okay.
I love that. I in my group. Reassess every year or so. Reassess your group, maybe just to see what's going on. So you ladies have given some amazing things, some things that I also talk with my clients about. But the one thing that I did want to mention is when you are doubting yourself, and this is for the people who are listening or watching or what have you, when you are doubting yourself, when you don't think you can do something, when you don't think you can start your business, when you don't think you can get that promotion, when you don't think you can become a C-suite executive, whatever it is that you are doubting yourself on, I want you to ask yourself why. And I want you to keep asking yourself why until you get to the real issue, whether it's 5 times, 7 times, however many times it takes. I want you to keep asking yourself why you're not good enough to do that, why you don't believe in yourself. And the real issue here is that you have to be honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, then who can you be honest with? No one has to know the answers to your question. No one has to know the answer to the why, but you do. You know the answer. You know if you're being honest. And the more times you ask yourself why, you may get to the issue of, well, the people in my circle continue to tell me negative things and that I can't do it. Well, I grew up and I had this childhood trauma and I was told that I was stupid every other day. Well, I don't think I can do this because, crabs in a barrel mentality, whatever it is. Ask yourself why you believe that. And when you get to the real issue, what you're going to find is that it's all false. Yeah. All those excuses you gave yourself as to why you could not achieve something, why you could not do something, they're all false. They're false reasons. And when you get to that, that's when you know that you're at your starting point. That's when you know that you have now gotten to the point where you can say, okay, now I can start with step 1 because I've removed all the noise. I've gotten rid of all the negativity. I call them negativity gremlins. I've gotten rid of all the negativity gremlins. I've gotten rid of all that mess in my head. And now I can start at step 1 because nothing else is holding me back. So that's the one thing that I would add on.
Wow, this has been so powerful. This has been so much fun. And I know that we've reached someone, that there's some people out there, whether they hear it today, tomorrow, next week, that really need to hear this. So everyone is giving some awesome tips. The only thing I'm going to add is definitely, piggyback off of everybody else. Definitely make sure that you reevaluate your circle.
Yeah.
And that is so important, because I realized that my business really began to gain a lot of traction when I started associating with other like-minded individuals. Those are individuals that were able, we supported one another. They supported me, I supported them. They were actually actively doing, activities to better themselves, personal development, professional development, actually scaling their business, being around or actually selecting a mentor. Those types of things really make a huge difference, a big difference. And I just want to say, go outside of your comfort zone regularly. And I know you hear a lot of coaches that say that, and it is the truth. That is the way that I was able to really begin to believe in myself and believe in my abilities, is by regularly going outside of my comfort zone. So like Cheron said earlier about that 5 seconds, if it's something that you would typically, like, let's say at your job, if every year they look for someone to spearhead a particular, I don't know, event, let's just say. And typically when they ask for volunteers, maybe that's the time you get up and go to the bathroom. And you start looking down, looking for something in your purse or in your bag, right? Immediately, before you can even think about it, raise that hand. I'll do it, right? Or if it's, maybe putting together your family reunion or starting a business or whatever it is, maybe you decide you wanted to, I don't know, you want to start painting and you're going to enroll in a painting class. Just do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Oh, I want to do, boom, I'm registered. Just call register, right? Whatever you got to do. And just make that a regular habit, going outside of your comfort zone. So we're moving into 2023. So I'm gearing this towards entrepreneurs. Whatever it is that you wanted to do, whether it's start your own show, whether it's to write your own book, right? Whether it's to launch a particular mastermind or coaching program, just do it. Don't even think about all of the what if this, what if that, what if people don't like it, what if people gonna think, can I do it? Before those thoughts even creep in, just start doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll put a post out there, right? I'll get a thought, I'll get real motivated, and I'll put that post out there. And once I put that post out there, I gotta do it. You know what I mean? I gotta follow through with it. So make it a regular thing that you go outside of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be real big. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Just the smallest thing. And that helps you to build confidence in yourself and your abilities. That you know that regardless, once you put your mind to it, you are going to do it. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have some setbacks. Okay? It doesn't mean that, but what it does mean is that when you set your mind to it, you can do it. You have what it takes. So thank you all so much. Thank you, guests, for joining us and giving all of your awesome feedback. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for tuning in. To those of you that had the opportunity to tune in, I see we have a couple of people here that commented. Thank you so much. Please like the broadcast, share it out, and make sure that you tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of A Queen's Roundtable Show and Podcast. So have a wonderful holiday, everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you so much for tuning in. And ladies, thanks again. And everyone, enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.